Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be. Okay, so as for Star Citizen, as IAE continues, uh, well, 2 days ago now, was Drake Day, and or the start of Drake Day, and with that, we had the release of the Drake Clipper, the Golem Ox, and yesterday was Alien Day. Nothing new video wise put up, and then today is Miss Mirai and Kruger, and so we have the L22 Wolf. So uh, got a couple videos with that. So first we're gonna do um, the commercial for um, the Clipper and then the behind the scenes. And I think I'll separate it into another video. We'll do the behind the scenes or behind the ship for the Ox and for the L22 Wolf Alpha. This happy place. Got a couple of SCs for cargo there. And I've got a day, or maybe just under a day left of releasing my rentals yet. I haven't touched it yet, so gonna maybe try doing a live stream if my computer works. Alright. Okay, I like this cutout view. Alright. Drugs, of course. Right. We got a med bed. Good. Yeah. That's the crystal. I'm sorry, this ship is kind of ugly. But, I mean, it's a very versatile ship. And off they go. I'm digging into Pyro. Alright. That's a nice little commercial, so let's look at the behind the ship.
There's a lot of gameplay loops in Star Citizen. There's mining, salvage, cargo, piracy, and a whole host of combat roles ranging from large capital ships which require a huge crew down to the single-player fighters, with more coming online over the next year. There's a lot of players that specialize in each of those roles, and there's ships that are dedicated to those roles. But there's also a lot of players that sort of don't want to be put in a box, and they just want to leave themselves open to whatever happens in the verse. We refer to this as the generalist playstyle. We have a few ships that sort of fit into that role, such as the Cutter and the Corsair. We felt there was an ideal space in the middle to introduce a new ship, and that's the Drake Clipper.
I mean, more so than those, I mean, the Clipper really is a ship.
The Drake Clipper is the jack of all trades, the master of none, really.
Yeah.
So it's the Jared of spaceships.
Is Drake's answer to the ship that does a little bit of everything. And it's really there for the person that wants to go out, explore, but without needing to bring along friends. It is Drake's solo ship for the person that just wants to go and see what the universe has to offer.
The Clipper is that silhouette that everyone has been hankering for from CitizenCon 2024, the large, vertical, multi-positioned wing Drake ship.
We had a few different ideas that we tried, and we ended up with one that was very thin and narrow that CR quite liked, and we saw it as like a stepping point between the Cutter and the Corsair, as like the middle ground between those. It just looks straight. You look at it and you know.
that
Very
does.
little has changed from the concept to the final ship. I think some parts of it we had to like stretch and make smaller or make bigger, but it was very easy to work from.
So really, you just copied Late's work.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
I mean, again, for
From
my understanding
the
that it
outside,
does.
I think the first thing you kind of notice when you walk up to it is just how tall it is. The role we wanted it to have, we wanted it to be able to do loads of different stuff, but we wanted to keep it within a really small solo footprint. And so what we decided to do was build on its height.
I love its like top profile it has,
Rather
where
than
you can
being,
probably see
like,
the
really wide.
difference in shape of the wings.
I understand that.
I think it looks cool.
The shapes, like there is a lot of angular shape in the design. In the side, we have 3 thruster and big twin engines in the rear.
I mean, this is
It
a good
makes it
concept
seem
for
so
a ship. I mean, as far as
brutish
the roles.
because it's so simple.
mean,
It's just
I think,
massive engines
honestly-
shoved on wherever they could find them, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. It's just big and it goes.
But that's what I'm saying. If more
There's a
manufacturers,
bit of weirdness to it. It's got that Drake thing where it's not symmetrical. It looks a bit ungainly and weird, but I really like how it's all come together.
yeah, if the other manufacturers made an equivalent to this, like a
The Caesar
multi-role
mechanism of the
midship,
lift
oh, they'd probably
features
be
a
selling
pure
those
industrial, functional
as well.
approach.
I mean, we'll see with the
It's very cool
Sells
to
on
see
the-
it in a ship.
Clipper, like, but I'm
And
guessing.
despite its utility,
they're
it's
gonna
no
be a good
slouch in
little
the offensive department either. Typical to Drake, it comes with 4 size 3s for its actual weapons, as well as a number of missiles to fire at your opponents.
So going up the ramp, you enter into the cargo bay, and that is literally the bottom floor of the ship.
The ramp is go down in the front side, and you can see in the side where ramp it joins are really nice details, fans and some very big hydraulics. And in the cargo, in the ceiling, nice detail there, really nice pipes and a lot of greebles there. It can hold 10 to 12 SCU.
The biggest box you can get in here is realistically a 2 SCU box, but it's really ideal for single 1 SCU boxes. Then at the rear of the cargo room is the ladder up to the mid-deck. At the top of that ladder, you enter into the lower sort of engineering component room area.
I think engineering for me, it makes it feel hot, it makes it feel sweaty, it makes it feel like there's a lot of stuff going on to make it function. And I think we've kind of captured that quite well in engineering. I think there's a lot of subtle movement going on. We've tried to make it kind of as immersive as we can so that when you're in there, I think the lighting complements it, the movement complements it, you know, the audio complements it. It feels like you're in the heart of the machine.
The engineering deck is split between 2 floors because of the narrow shape of the ship. The only way to the top deck is a ladder. We couldn't get the components down the ladder. So we've implemented basically a fun little trapdoor in the engineering room that you move the components through with like a tractor beam. There's a big clunky lever that you pull and the trapdoor just swings open, so don't stand on it when you pull the lever.
And then going forwards from that, you enter into the medical bay.
Okay.
It's Drake's take on what a medical bay should be. If I'm honest, the inspiration from it for me was more of a sort of like a butcher's room.
It has got red wine-colored floor. It looks very heavy duty and like industrial.
And a lot of people were a little bit like, do we want a med bay to have a red floor? Because normally, you know, medical bays they're clean, they're clinical. But for me, you know, Drake's take on a medical bay is there's a bit of blood on the floor. Well, I wanted it to feel a little bit like it was somewhere you'd
mean, they
use
have
the
the-
last resort
I mean,
rather
they have the
than
cutlass
somewhere
red,
that you'd be happy
but-
waking up.
I get it.
The Clipper has a tier 3 medical bed in the med bay.
This is great for healing minor injuries as well as short distance regeneration.
It gives you that little bit of a safety net, truly making it one of the best ships for someone to fly on their own.
You then have a room that is dedicated to the crafting machine.
Although the feature isn't online yet, you'll be able to make stuff on the fly while actually inside the vessel. And obviously, with the fabricator integrated into the actual ship itself, it isn't a case of choosing whether you want more cargo storage or the fabricator. You get best of both worlds.
The habitation room in the Creeper does not care about luxury or comfort. You'll see too much exposed mechanical components, pipes, wires, and no frills in general.
And then at the very top front, you have the traditional Drake cockpit, featuring very angular design cockpit glass and a sort of seat and dashboard setup you'll be familiar with.
It feels quite contemporary. There's a lot of push buttons, there's a lot of glowing lights. The screens are kind of slightly curved, so it's got like that kind of nod back to old CRT screens, and we just wanted it to feel quite analog, or as much as we could in a modern spaceship.
Yeah, I mean, you got a keyboard
The cockpit
there.
in the Creeper is quite spacious, and it gives the pilot a wonderful panoramic view thanks to its large glass cage.
I remember when we were doing the concept, it was kind of like an early idea, and we were umming and ahhing about it to like where we want the cockpit to be, and then as soon as we saw it up at the front, it just kind of worked.
It's a Drake ship, it's always a fan favourite. The detail and the interest that we get to do with Drake means that they're always great fun to actually work on.
Very happy with it. It's another great Drake ship that just sort of adds to their lineup, and when you look at it, you can tell it's a Drake ship.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'll leave that up to you to decide whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, do you know, I'm going to say it, and I think it's my favourite ship this year for IE. No offence to any of the other ships that we're doing.
Defy symmetry. Of course. Because, yeah, Drake tends to be asymmetrical. Alright, yeah, that's... it makes me more excited to get a look. I did do a walkthrough in the hall, but you know, that's just quick in the hall. So I'll have to take her out later. Again, I think I've got maybe 20 something hours left, or a day and something. So yeah, let's see, because actually I may need to go back and yeah, I think I have a whole day, because I believe I still got like maybe 18 hours on Origin, which, you know, I'm going to go fly a 600i. But anyways, that is my reaction and my thoughts on the commercial, oops, wrong one, commercial and the, why did, I get all fuzzy all of a sudden. Okay, that's not good. So, anyways, for the commercial and the behind the chips for the Drake Clipper. As always, feel free to share, subscribe. If you give me a like if you like my content. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hit that notification button so you know when I drop something new. Feel, you know, at your leisure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these videos, any suggestions, any thoughts in general. And as always, thanks for watching.